Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Daily Rants Show. I was lying in my bed this morning and I was thinking about wood. Now, I'm not sure how often you guys think about wood, but I think about wood fairly often. And while I was having this deep thought about wood, I came to the realization that chainsaws are incredibly underrated. Now, if for some reason you don't know what a chainsaw is, it's basically an axe, but either electrified or with an engine attached to it. And what's so great about that is it takes an already perfect invention, the axe, and somehow makes it more perfect, more efficient. So instead of having a bunch of strong men go out into the woods with axes to cut down trees, you can just have one pathetic man with a chainsaw. And I think that's great because it gives more opportunity to pathetic people like myself. So gone are the days of having to work hard with rudimentary tools. Instead, anybody can succeed. And I think that's beautiful. Now, chainsaws are important because they're the lifeline of the logging industry. If your chainsaw doesn't work, it's going to be a long day. If you wake up, you have your coffee, and you drive to the job site, and your chainsaw doesn't start up, you know it's going to be a hard day. But when it does start up, it's like a friend. You know, you get off work, you go home, you come back the next day, and your friend is there waiting for you. Your friend starts right up, and you and your friend spend 8 hours cutting down trees together. It's beautiful. It is so beautiful. It is a beautiful tool that is a staple in the logging industry. Now, whatever your thoughts on logging are, it is hard to deny how important lumber is for any society. Now, yes, there's more ethical ways to source it, but with how much lumber is produced today and how much needs to be produced, one has to wonder if the chainsaw will be ultimately replaced entirely, just like the axe, just like the saw before it. The perfect story that mirrors this one is the story of Paul Bunyan. Now, if you grew up in America, you probably know the story of Paul Bunyan. Basically, he was born a giant. Now, they don't say why, and they don't say how, but the how and the why are not important. He was a giant who just so happened to be born in a logging camp. And he also had a big ox with him too, a big blue ox. But that's another part of the story. It doesn't matter. Anyway, he'd go out with his axe, giant man, cut down trees, best to ever do it, goated lumberjack. But then one day a man comes into town with a wood cutting machine. A machine that really gives Paul Bunyan a run for his money. That machine was chainsaw-like. It was a machine. It was like a, operated machine, but it had the same instruments as a chainsaw. The rotating chain, the saw blade, everything. How much longer into the future until that machine is replaced by another machine? Now, when it comes to the logging industry, Paul Bunyan is dead. He's dead. He's been out of a job, couldn't find work. He probably starved to death long ago. But the machine that replaced him, the chainsaw, is still active to this day. But how much longer? How much longer until the chainsaw gets the axe. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you tomorrow.